do that. Right. Yeah, there was, and then there was something about on the CC.
Yeah, it's already enabled.
Oh, it's enabled. Okay, good. And Jerry mentioned about there might be a little delay in like people coming on
Yeah.
board.
I have the thing ready for them to enter.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
So should we wait a couple minutes or should we just get going?
We could get going because they're expecting everybody to get back at a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Sure. All right, super. Thank you, Eddie, for the introduction there. Hi, my name is Vikas Beri. I'm the Department Head of Chemical Engineering. First off, welcome to this presentation. We have a few presentations for you, and we are looking forward to interacting with you and to take any questions. And a big congratulations for getting admitted to UIC, to the department. I know you already have looked at the department and the university, a few things that I wanted to mention before I head over the presentations. When you're looking at a department, you're going to be spending 4 years in a department learning things. You want to make sure that your degree is going to be of value. So some of the things that you should think about is this department giving concentrations in different areas so that when you're doing your general chemical engineering, you have the opportunity to also expand in other areas. You want to look at the job offers that students have got and what they're doing. You want to make sure that students are doing important things, and I'll give you a couple of examples. We have students who are working on making these surfaces, antiviral surfaces, where if a viral particle comes in and interacts, it kills a virus. We have students who are working on making these artificial leaves that takes in carbon dioxide and converts it into fuel. We have students who are working on these drug delivery mechanisms where if you have any internal hemorrhage, you take the drug and it goes into a particular area wherever needed, and it opens up the drug to cure those diseases. So we have students who are doing like wonderful things, and then we have students who are also working on making these building these cars that are that operate on chemical reactions, and they go out and compete to see who has the best design. And we have come in the top 5 in the country in the last 2 years. So there's a lot of exciting opportunities available here. You want to make sure that you get as much information as you can get from these presentations, and also ask questions. Again, so that you get the information. There's a lot to unpack here through these presentations. So make sure that you get the best from this. And then with this, I will hand it over to Professor Zadunik and Professor Bilgin for their presentations. And again, welcome and congratulations again.
Thank you, Professor. Doctors, please.
Okay.
Dr. Zunick and Dr. Bilgin.
Yeah. Batul, did you want to open up the presentation, or do you want me to?
You can.
Okay. Will do. Okay. So welcome, everyone. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so again, welcome to the Ignite event. We're really excited that you're here, and so that we can tell you a little bit more about our program. My name is Alan Zadunek. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Studies. I'm also a teaching faculty in the department. And Dr. Bilgin is also a professor in the department, and we have a few slides that we want to share with you just to talk a little bit about chemical engineering and our program. And Batul will start. So actually, let's see here. If you want to go ahead.
Yes. So good morning, everyone. Welcome and congratulations for joining the department. We're so excited to have you over and also have our students who are going to be answering your questions at the end of our presentation. My name is Vitul Bilgin. I have been at UIC for 7 years now, and I'm teaching the first course and the last course of the chemical engineering curriculum. So you will see me when you're sophomore and also senior in your classes. So let's talk about chemical engineering. And chemical engineering as a degree, it's not really like clear to many people. They think about it's more like a chemistry, it's also engineering. And we're going to be talking about the details of it. And you might have questions, what are the companies who are going to be hiring you after you graduate? And what are going to be experiences that you will have? So we will kind of touch upon that. And what are the really like critical things that chemical engineers are contributing to the society and in the global term, like COVID, climate change, drinking water, and renewable resources, and what kind of training that you're going to have at UIC chemical engineering program, and what does the department look like right now as a current state, and what is our vision to go forward, and what is the quality of education at UIC chemical engineering. These are the things that we will be addressing through our presentation, hopefully. And if you have questions at the end, we will be happy to answer those. Ellen, we can go to the next slide. And
Okay.
yes, you can go ahead.
Should I? So I guess we can show the video.
Yep.
Yeah. Sound good?
Oh, we cannot see the video.
Oh. Hold on a second. Maybe I have to share. Let's see.
You have to share the other screen or move over the video to the main screen.
Oh. Let me do that. Hold on. Technology. How's that? Is that good now?
What is chemical engineering? While science is the creation of new knowledge, engineering is using that knowledge to solve problems. And look around. Every part of this world is made of chemicals. So chemical engineering is all about solving world's greatest challenges. As you can imagine, this makes chemical engineering pretty diverse. So let us now hear from the chemical engineering faculty at University of Illinois at Chicago about what chemical engineering is in terms of what they do.
It is building technologies that can help the world, like addressing the water crisis by designing high-efficient water purification technologies.
It is also about reducing greenhouse gases by designing artificial leaves that can capture CO2 from the air and convert it to fuel for your cars.
It is catering to the world's demands by designing chemical plants for large-scale production of consumer products, new materials, and medical devices.
It is also about creating next-generation nanotechnologies. For example, building electronic, optoelectronic, and biomedical devices with materials only one atom thick.
It's designing new nano and micro materials for biomedical applications.
It's about training the next generation of entrepreneurs to address major global challenges such as clean energy and clean water through innovation and successful technology commercialization strategies.
It is using the building blocks of chemical engineering, thermodynamics, reactions, and the unit operations of heat, mass, and fluid transfer to successfully turn raw materials into useful products.
And it's designing efficient processes safely, sustainably, and economically.
Chemical engineering students at the University of Illinois at Chicago experience life in the big city of Chicago while they study in our new engineering innovation building with state-of-the-art facilities as they get ready to solve world's greatest challenges.
If you want to make a difference in determining the future of energy, the environment and sustainability, foods, pharmaceuticals, polymers, electronics, and many other products that we use every day, consider a major in chemical engineering. You will have a rewarding career.
Hi, my name is William Rawson, and I'm the captain of the ChemiCar team for the University of Illinois at Chicago. The name of our car is the Hot Rod version 2. It is uniquely designed to be powered by a lead-acid battery and stop through an iodine clock reaction.
We designed a custom lead-acid battery with custom lead plates, and we have membranes for the battery separators, and it's filled with a 30% sulfuric acid solution. The battery is connected to a small motor and gearbox that will power our car to victory.
Our stopping mechanism is an iodine clock reaction, which is a reaction that turns from clear to black, and that change in light intensity is measured by a photoresistor. Once the light intensity changes, a relay cuts the power from our battery to the motor.
One of our unique features is a custom-built quarter-size steering mechanism. This was made by gluing a tiny magnet to a Raspberry Pi fan. The entire base is entirely custom-built, and almost all the components of our car were designed to be 3D printed or laser cut.
Okay, so let me go back to the other screen here.
As you see from the presentation, chemical engineering is so diverse that we are touching upon really like the big problems of the society as biomedical problems, water crisis, environmental problems, global warming. And our department is actually representing all these problems, and we have faculty who have research areas on this. But if you want to be like summarizing chemical engineering, it's really hard, as you see that we are touching so many different areas and it's so diverse. But at the nutshell, it's going to be like having raw materials and converting them to finished products. And this is going to be on a very large scale. When people think about it, what is the difference between chemistry versus chemical engineering? The main difference will be the scale. For chemical engineering, we are designing all these equipments that's going to actually make all these materials at a large scale. And I give this example to my, like if I'm presenting at K-12, that if you are making cookies at your home for your family, that's chemistry. If you're making cookies for the whole city, then that's going to be chemical engineering. And as you can imagine, there's going to be a lot of differences between chemistry versus chemical engineering. And it will include physics, math, and that will be making chemical engineering success plus money. And we start with the lab scale. That's going to be the chemistry. Then after that, we want to be actually, before moving to full plant scale, that we tried in a pilot scale. That's going to be more like a room size. And everything is tried out. And then after that, we actually implement it into your full plant scale. And in your senior design, as I have senior students here, they actually do the full plant design for a specific process. And we are going to give you a couple examples that chemical engineers actually contributed to society. And when you're using these at your everyday life,
there we go.
Okay, that you should be thinking about chemical engineers. Number one is energy, fuels. And it's not only the gasoline that people usually traditionally think chemical engineers are working. It's also the cleaner fuels, like also renewable energy and environmental aspects. So we have fuel cells, nickel lithium ion batteries, and solar cells. And in terms of environments, I think chemical engineers will have a big impact. So you have a bright future in this field. That global warming is a big problem right now. Water crisis is coming definitely, and chemical engineers are going to be a big player on this. Plastics, and right now we are searching more like bioplastics, degradable plastics. It's a big area right now, and we actually like use plastics in our everyday lives, but we are trying to make it more environmental friendly. And stretching resources, synthetic rubbers, thermoplastics, and going more into processes and food manufacturing. Food is another big area in chemical engineering. A couple examples like peanut butter and orange juice, concentrate. Packaging is a big area also in food industry. And the last I see, a lot of students are more interested in medical applications. And Cedar is here, so she had at AbbVie, she had an internship, so she can tell more about her experience there. And the last, people never think about that, but semiconductor manufacturing. I think we have a bunch of students who are working at Intel. And when you're using your computers, that you should next time think about that chemical engineers are also part of that process. Let's move to the chemical engineering at our departments at UIC. Number one, we would like to emphasize is our program is ABAT accredited. That's very important because after you graduate, you want to have a degree from an institution that has ABAT accreditation. And ABAT accredited is, we have like biochemical concentration, and we are starting 5 more concentration. We are so happy and excited about it. And next thing, very important, is small class size. So for us, I think it's more like a private school that we have the ratio for the faculty, student to faculty is really low. And that's going to give you a more relationship between your faculty and yourself. And we have around 15 highly qualified faculty. We are hiring more, so maybe you will see a couple more people joining us. And all the PhD programs are, we have the faculty from top universities. We have 3 CEO founders and 3 faculty from the industry. In terms of numbers, currently we have 255 bachelor's degree students, undergraduate students. It has been increasing, and we are working on recruiting more people. We are so glad in terms of the diversity that 37% female. It is a huge number compared to the college, other departments in the college. And our students are really active in student organizations. SWE is one, that Society for Women Engineers, AICHE, American Institute of Chemical Engineers, and NASB, SHIP. Those are a couple of ones that our students have been active. And they have published research, conference presenters, they have fellowship awardees, and we have 44 PhD students and 29 MS students currently. And we are proud that we have been able to actually get our ranking higher. It was 64, now we moved to 60s, and we are hoping that we're gonna get into 50s very soon. And that's another thing that we are so proud of, that we are actually in a new building now. It is called Engineering Innovation Building. It is, I think, it's the newest building at the UIC. And we have really nice unit operation labs, and classrooms are all high tech right now. And unfortunately, we couldn't able to use this year, but we are looking forward to be back at the department, at the building in fall. And I think that's for me, Ellen.
Yes. Thanks, Batul. So I think I'm going to take over for the rest of the presentation. So to continue about the department, we have a really close-knit department. As you know, we have, as Dr. Bilgin said, it's a smaller group of students, and so there's a lot of sense of community, good interaction between the students and the faculty and even the staff. People are very helpful. We have really good relationships with our alumni. That picture on the bottom right is a picture of our alumni. We have an alumni mixer where we get together every spring, and the students get to attend that as well. The other picture on the bottom left is actually the expo, which is the senior expo. It's your capstone class, and alumni are also involved in that as well. So let me talk, I have a few slides about the curriculum here at UIC. I'm just going to gloss over it. If you want more information, please contact myself or Eddie Martinez, or look on our website right here to learn more about the program and the degree requirements. But the core undergraduate studies are, again, it's ABET accredited. So these are courses that you need to take. Thermodynamic based, so this is heat or mass and energy and reactions. Transport based is is fluid, mass, and heat transfer. We have process-oriented courses like process control, the senior design course. There's a 2-semester laboratory, which we call the unit operations, where you get a chance to work with pilot scale equipment. You saw that in the video. That was the lab there. And then, of course, what's very important in chemical engineering is numerical analysis. So we have some courses in learning that using MATLAB, using process simulation software. And then also very important is the engineering education and professional development. So you start with an engineering orientation course where we have breakout sessions for the freshmen and transfer students. You get to meet the faculty and do a project. And then later we have professional development that goes on. We have alumni and professional engineers come into your courses. Dr. Bilgin and Dr. Berry talked about the specialization. So we're very excited about this. We have 5 new concentrations that have just been approved by the university. The one existing was the biochemical engineering. Now we have energy and environment, process automation, polymer and molecular engineering, nanotechnology, and entrepreneurship. So we feel these are emerging areas in chemical engineering that will give you extra skill sets that will help you in terms of your career. So these are, again, also related to some of the work that the faculty are doing. There's work in environmental science, water treatment, the artificial leaf that Dr. Berry mentioned, molecular engineering, some of the work with the on cancer detection and drug delivery. And then we also have entrepreneurship, which is also very important in terms of a lot of engineers these days actually try to start up their own companies. So we actually recognize that and are trying to give the skill sets to our students if they want to go that route as well. Here's quickly some of the technical elective courses that make up some of the concentrations. So you can see there's a wide variety of different courses, very relevant areas, everything from clean energy and the electric grid to here's the entrepreneurship, nanotechnology and pharmaceutical applications, and then more traditional types of classes like colloidal, interfacial phenomena, air pollution, membrane technology. Fuzzy physics. This is complex fluids are something that chemical engineers deal with quite a bit in industry. So switching over to career success. So we recognize this is very important. You're coming to get a professional degree. We want you to succeed after you graduate. So we actually we surveyed our alumni, and let's see, do you see this screen or not? Do you see the career success or no? Okay, let me share that one. Okay. Okay. So we surveyed about 160 alumni, and this is the salary range. So you can see that, we've got almost a quarter are making in 6 figures. The majority are in the 50 to 100,000 range. If you look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average starting salary for a chemical engineer is about 65,000. So our alumni are doing very well. Here's some common jobs that came out of the survey. This is some of the titles from our alumni. So things like controls engineer, environmental engineering, health and safety, materials, operations manager, process and product engineering, product manager, and validation engineer. So you can see it covers a wide variety of different responsibilities. Everything's from process engineer is more, actually designing processes, chemical or food related or pharmaceutical processes. Environmental, of course, helping prevent and remediate hazards and wastes. Process control is very important, and data management is a big area now that chemical engineers get involved with. And then project or program manager, this is an area where you start getting into more project management and start maybe getting into more the corporate side, the business side of a company. Here's some of the companies that our alumni work at. So you can see a wide variety of small and large companies. Here's Intel, as Dr. Bilgin mentioned, everything from, alternative foods like Beyond Meats, Blommer Chocolates. We have UOP is another one. This is more in the oil and gas industry. Lockheed Martin. Boeing is another one. We have a student working at Boeing. Baxter. So you can look. This is on our website if you want to look a little more closely at some of the companies that our alumni are at. Okay, so let me go back to my other screen. Okay. And then finally, we encourage our students to get internships, at least one. So there is this program called the Guaranteed Paid Internship Program for freshmen and transfer students, where you're guaranteed a internship in the summer. And this is really helpful for you to get a job later on. There's like a 95% chance, better chance of you obtaining a full-time job if you do an internship while you're at school. Here's some of the companies that some of our students have worked at on internships. Another program that we just put on board last year is called the 4+1 program. So this is a special option that's available to our undergraduate chemical engineering majors, where the last year of your bachelor degree, you take 2 graduate level courses, and this allows you to combine the bachelor and master degree. And so actually you can finish up your master's program in 1 more year, as opposed to usually a master's is two years. So this is a nice option if you want to think about that one. Just a couple more slides. Student activities. As Dr. Bilgin mentioned, our students are pretty active in various areas. Hiba and Cedra will talk a little bit about AICHE. We have our community industry day, where we have industry people come in and talk to our students. A forum is the same thing in the spring. And then Dr. Bilgin actually runs the Access Club, where they meet on Saturdays to talk about, she usually gets someone from industry and a faculty member to talk to the students about what they're doing. And finally, we have research. So Dr. Barry mentioned already a little bit about some of the research, and you could see it in the video, but here are some of our core areas: bio nanotechnology, renewable energy, environment and health, sustainable water and plastics, molecular nanoscale engineering, complex fluids, and then of course engineering education. So a lot of people, think of environmental, being solely in like a civil engineering department, but actually chemical engineers have a lot of do a lot of work in the environmental area as well. Okay, thank you for your time. So we hope that you choose UIC as for your education and sign that intent to enroll. I will now bring it over to Eddie to continue our program.
Thank you, Professor. Could you stop sharing your screen, please?
Sure.
A lot of vital information, good information. And again, if you have questions, we'll have some time after our next presenters. We have 2 students here who are very involved in the department and part of various groups and activities that take place in our department and in the university. So without further ado, I will let them introduce themselves and give you a little quick snippet of what they have, their experiences as students.
Thank you, Eddie. I'm just going to share my screen real quick.
So thank you for joining us today. My name is Sidra, and this is my friend and fellow senior Hiba. We're going to be talking about a few of the amazing aspects of our chemical engineering department here at UIC. First off, we want to say welcome. This is a really wonderful community. We are all here for you. We are like a family. All of us are very good friends, as you can see these pictures, which just a couple weeks ago when we met up on campus. Everyone here is here to help. So whether it's the professors, your peers, just know that you're welcome and that you'll have an amazing time here at UIC.
Yeah, and whether you're a transfer student like I am, or an incoming freshman like Sidra is, Chemi's at UIC is really an amazing track to follow. And going, at least from my experience as a transfer student, going into UIC, I was not expecting anything. And I found a family, like Sidra said, and some amazing professors like Dr. Bilkin, Dr. Zadunik, Dr. Barry, and of course, Eddie, have all been so supportive in making that transition so much easier and being like a backbone to helping us achieve whatever it is we want to follow and whatever we're trying to attain.
And there are so many possibilities for internships and research. As Dr. Bilgin and Dr. Zadunik mentioned, you can do anything you want within chemical engineering, whether you are interested in the environment, the food and beverage industry, energy or fuel, biopharma, cosmetics, or even consulting, you'll find a place here. As Dr. Zadunik mentioned, the Guaranteed Paid Internship Program is a really wonderful thing that you could be involved in, and that will give you an opportunity to learn about what it means to be an engineer. Also, since we're in the city of Chicago, UIC does a wonderful job of keeping us connected with the great corporations around here. There's so many big chemical engineering companies in the Midwest and Illinois. So this will be a wonderful gateway to those companies, and you'll have so many opportunities to network and learn more about what it means to be a chemical engineer.
Yeah, and there's endless opportunities with research as well. We both have been in research here at UIC with really great professors, and you will find endless opportunities by being in this department. And additionally, you know, besides your major of a chemical engineering, you could follow in a minor. Let's say there's something you're passionate about, there's something you want to be more interested in. There's several minors that a lot of us go into. Me and Sidra are both minors in finance, but others go into math and several others like linguistic or in social studies type of courses. So opportunities are endless here. On campus, there's a lot of other things like learning assistants, which Sidra can talk more about.
Yeah, there's great jobs on campus too, if you're interested in that as well. A lot of us are learning assistants, so that means that we help out in some of the lectures. So for example, I work with the calculus courses on campus. When the professors are lecturing, I walk around the lecture halls and help students with any questions they have. And now because we're online, I help with the discussion sections. So you can tutor, you can help out in math classes, science classes. Not only do you get paid for that work, but also you're strengthening those skills, you know, brushing up on your math and science and being involved even outside of our Chemie department.
Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of extracurriculars that you can be a part of. Just because you're in chemical engineering doesn't mean that studying is your only life here. You can do so much more. Like Dr. Zadunik mentioned, there's the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, or AICE for short. So both me and Sidra are on board for that. So we would love to talk to you guys more about that. We do a lot of cool things. We invite a lot of companies to come. We host a lot of network events, and we try to help you out with your resume as well and how to navigate career fairs. So when you're trying to get that internship, when you're trying to get that job, we're here to help you in any way. And also we like to do a lot of, you know, hanging out with each other type of stuff. So socializing events, so like movie nights or just playing games and stuff like that. We like to have fun, get to know each other, and we like to get to know our professors as well. So we have like a panel to get to know your professors in a way that's, you know, outside the classroom, see them, you know, besides the books. And then there's a lot of other extracurriculars that a lot of us are part of, such as Society of Women Engineers, SWE for short, as well as there's Sparkathon, which is a fundraiser for helping kids who are cancer patients that are survived, basically raise money to help them out after their treatment. And we have the buddy system and competitive gaming club. And Sidra can speak more about a lot of these too.
Yeah, so Sparkathon is the dance marathon at UIC. We help the University of Illinois hospital. So they have a clinic that helps childhood cancer survivors. So we raise money for that. And for 2 years in a row, the Chemie department has raised the most money. We've raised over $2,000 for this. Ooh. And this year, actually, our donation got doubled. So we were able to raise over $4,000 for that cause. So that's just something that we like to do and reach out to our community at UIC. The buddy system is something you can hopefully get involved with as soon as you start at UIC. This is a program where you'll be linked with a upperclassman and they'll be able to be your guide, your mentor, any tips or tricks you have, any questions you may need to be answered, you could contact them. So they're just somebody to help you transition to UIC. And that's within our Chemie department. And as Hiba said, there's a lot of things to do outside of our department too. Competitive Gaming Club is one popular club. A lot of chemies are on that. They do a lot of really cool stuff. They go to competitions and they actually do really well. They won a huge prize last year. So that's another thing you can get involved in. And there's so many other clubs like you're interested in, UIC probably has a venue for that. So reach outside of the Chemie department, but overall, Hiba and I, reflecting back on our journey at UIC, have had such an amazing time. Graduation is just around the corner, but I think we can both say that coming to UIC was the best decision we made.
It certainly was overall, and we have all our great professors and our peers to thank for that, because without them, we wouldn't have had that support, and I don't think we would have found it as well as we did here. So thank you to everyone who came out and listened, and we're open to answering any questions you may have had about, for example, our transition into college, or just the department itself, or just stuff outside, anything at all. So.
And we'll drop our emails in the chat in a little bit. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, shoot us an email, and we'll be happy to answer your questions.
Great. Does anybody have immediate questions right now, or something they'd like to type in the chat, or you could unmute yourselves and just ask? That's okay. No worries. We'll have some time at the end as well. Thank you to both of you for very insightful information. Hopefully students get a better idea of how it's going to be, and hopefully they get a little bit less jittery about coming to the university here in Chicago. So lastly, it'll just be me. I will also give kind of a quick presentation on student life, academic life, and financial aid, because you will go back to more information regarding financial aid. So we'll just go ahead and be able to give you enough time for questions, and then be able to go down that way. So wrong one.
Jacob has a question in the chat.
Oh, yes. Are campus visits allowed? So right now, campus visits aren't explicitly allowed. However, with the transition of the university going on campus, hopefully in the fall, we're working with the college and the university to kind of mediate some kind of agreement where we can allow facility visitation, obviously supervised and COVID with COVID regulations. So if and when that is permitted, we will announce that overall. We have your information, and you'll be getting emails directly from myself or Dr. Zadunik to alert you of possible, department tours, so you could see firsthand the lab and go in and see what some of our graduate students are working on, what our professors are working on, as well as get a feel for what you're going to be doing. But right now, unfortunately, I don't know, but it is subject to open, hopefully around the summer. And can you see the presentation? Yeah, great. So again, my name is Eduardo Martinez. I go by Eddie. Pretty much I am the point of contact for the department, in which case if there's anything that you need an answer to, most likely I have the answer to it, and I'll be able to help you out with some of that information. So again, just a quick overview. We're just going to be over student life, academics, and financial aid. Of course, you get a little bit more information for financial aid later. As we mentioned, it's very hands-on experience for chemical engineering. On average, for students, you'll be doing 12 to 16 hours in lab work once you are able to do lab work. And of course, as we mentioned, we have a variety of partner companies where you can gain an internship either through GPIP or just on your own accord with the help of the department, you'll be able to get it. In regards to housing, a lot of students, we are known as a commuter school, but you are able to stay on campus. We do have commons, typical things that you see like in movies or in TV shows, where our commons are on the east side. We do have more apartment style dorm rooms where you could have a studio, which is by yourself, a double, or up to 4 people staying in one dormitory. And those have, you know, your amenities like your kitchen and your own bathrooms and things like that. And we do have a west side, which is the medical side. You are free to stay there as well. And those dorms are also more apartment style, where you could go and stay. Generally speaking, just a rule of thumb, whatever you're paying for tuition, if you decide to stay for in the dorm for the year, it's roughly about an additional $10,000 a year, not a semester, a whole year. And then you are locked in for that contract. So you will have to stay the entire year if you decide to stay on campus. As far as career services, as we all mentioned, we are really adamant about providing you not only a good academic journey here, but being able to see you succeed once you leave that once you leave the department. Chemie students from UIC is a lifelong type of relationship. We like to stay in connection with all of our alumni, and we try to do as much as we can with them. So we do host resume workshops. We host mock interviews, one-on-one mock interviews with our HR recruiters. We have industry days that we happen every year where we have actual recruiters come in, give you a little bit talk about how the field works and what they're looking for when they're hiring individuals. So we actually have those people who are hiring come in and give you a little bit more information. Again, panels, we have career advice and panel of experts, former students, current employees that are always willing to come in, who are not only looking to hire our UIC alumni, but also just to give back and give them more information that they're able to, you know, usually that wish they were given when they were earlier. So they just want to contribute as much as they can. And of course, Chemie internships and job fairs. We host the College of Engineering hosts 2 job fairs every year. So you're free to attend those. And as our student representatives mentioned, we do what we can to kind of help you and prep you, make sure you're ready for it, ask the right questions. So by the time you get there, you'll be well prepared. As far as academics, I won't go into much to it. New incoming freshmen or transfer students, generally new incoming freshmen, if you have AP credit courses, I'll be able to let you know how to apply those to your overall program. There is a strict number you have to achieve in order for them to be applied into your program. For IB courses, it's a little bit different. So it just depends on if and when you took these courses. Your AP and your IB courses, you can talk to me about how to apply those. But generally speaking, the university does require general education courses. So you will need to take your general Englishes, your understanding the past, which is a history course, general history, United States history, understanding creative arts, which is non-traditional academic. So like music, art, theater, things like that. World cultures is anything outside the United States, Chinese dynasties, African-American literature, Russian history, things like that. Individual society is just an introductory to psychology, and the US society is just an introductory to sociology. So aside from your hard, STEM courses, you will need to complete those, or you will receive credit for them if you took AP courses. Some of our hard STEM courses that you will need to take, you will need to take up to Calculus 3. You will need to take Chemistry 1 and 2 up to Organic Chemistry. You will need to take differential equations, and you will need to take some programming. C++ is a program course with MATLAB. MATLAB is the main course that you'll be using within the chemical engineering program. So again, we're not expecting you to know how to code or anything like that, but you do need to know some level of MATLAB language in order for you to continue in the program. as Dr. Zunick mentioned, this is our outline. In order to receive a bachelor's degree, you need a minimum of 120 credit hours, but we are engineers. You do have to work that much harder just to be, on the same level as other people. So our program does require 128 credit hours. The majority of engineering disciplines require more credit hours than usual, but it is worth it, that much worth it, as you can see, because the career in the field does pay off in the long run. As the other presentations mentioned, we do have concentrations ready to roll out. So if you have questions about that, feel free to email me or Dr. Zdunek, and we'll be able to provide you more information. And of course, our 4+1 program, our first cohort is ready to begin. Our graduating class are now transitioning into their 4+1 program. So they will be not only getting their bachelor's degree, but they will also be gaining their master's degree all within the 5-year frame. So that's something that we're really excited about, and hopefully you consider taking that route as well. Tuition and fees, again, you'll get a little bit more information once I'm done with this. This is my last slide. When you transition back into the other hub. UIC generally per year it costs about $17,000, 17.6, I mean, per year. And that's the tuition for the entire academic year, fall and spring. Our closest competitor is IIT. And as you can see, their tuition per year is about $45,000 a year. For the overall program, right, 4 years, you're looking at about $70,000, with our closest competitor, IIT, for $180,000. So, when you're considering where to go and how much you're going to pay, as we mentioned, we're a renowned university, and we're always having cut-of-the-edge research. And if you could afford to get that, at a more reasonable price, then it'd be a lot easier for you, and it's a better choice overall. The university does award grants and scholarships. So last year there was $150 million worth of UIC grants, loans, and scholarships that were given across the entire university. And as UIC undergraduates, you are able to receive some of those, such as MAP grants, UIC Excellent grants, and things like that. As far as our department, we have awarded over 40 scholarships to undergraduates, graduates, and postdocs in the last year. So our department does have money to provide. It's not a lot, unfortunately, but we do have some form of scholarships and awards that we're able to provide. Of course, you are competing within our own department for those, but we do try to offer as much as we can when we're able to do that. So again, that was my little spiel. Hopefully you enjoyed all the information that we have here and that we provided for you. There's my email, emarty59@UIC. If our students, could you drop your email as well in the chat, as you said you were mentioning, if you haven't done so already. Thank you very much for your time and your consideration. We hope that we gave you enough information, and we hope that we were able to provide a good welcome to our department. And again, if you have any questions or any concerns, please feel free. I see a question here before I leave. Do dorms follow that kind of do dorms follow what specific contract? Well, the contract that they follow is a very strict. It's very strict. So what I would suggest is you really read the fine print. As soon as you sign the contract for the dorms, it's pretty much set in stone, and you can't get out of the contract. So if you're considering staying for whatever reason, I would strongly just suggest to really read the contract before you go, because if for whatever reason, right, life happens and you can't continue to go or whatever it is, you don't want to come to IC, you are locked in for the dorm price. You will have to pay that. Unfortunately, that's just the way the housing department operates. So please, if you are considering, I would just really read the fine print and make sure that you are secure to come, and if you're going to be willing to stay there for the entire year, because they don't do semester per semester. They do an entire academic year. So from fall all the way to the following spring, which would be May for us, you will stay there for the entirety of the academic year. Yes, so generally speaking, our department doesn't hold summer courses. What we've discovered is that that's difficult for students to kind of adjust to their program. We understand that there are things that are out of our control. So we unfortunately have to, kind of maneuver some of the courses in order for you to take. So we are introducing summer courses for chemical engineering. What those are for your specific, admitting class, you'll find out come next spring. But we will begin to offer summer courses. The university as a whole offers summer courses. So in case you want to get advanced on certain general education courses like music or anything like that, they offer them all summer. The tuition cost for summer is less, but there is a limit of how many credit hours you can take. So generally speaking, in order for you to be a full-time student, you need 12 credit hours or more, which is generally 4 courses throughout the year. And there is no limit when it comes to regular fall or spring. But in the summer, there is a cap of about 15 hours that you could take overall for the summer that you can't exceed. So you can take summer courses. And again, hopefully by the time your specific admit class gets to summer, we'll have not only university courses, but we'll also have chemistry courses for you to take as well. Any other questions or? Yeah. I see a hand. Yes, Zane.
Yes. Hi, my name is Zane, and I've been kind of writing up questions as we go along. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I didn't want to go after Hiba and Cedro's presentation because I was like, I don't want to bring up like a question from like two
Please, no, don't worry about it.
And so is the master's and bachelor program available for transfer students, or is it only for people who are freshmen?
Yes, it is available for any and all chemical engineering students. There is an application process within our website, so I could provide you that link. And it really is, we just overall analyze, it's not on a dismissal of a GPA or not, it's a holistic approach. So we ask you to write a little snippet about why you want to join and where you want to go. And then generally we provide a feedback for you, and then you meet with me to kind of break down what your next couple of years are going to look like, depending on where you are, to make sure you finish within the 5 years, because we don't want you to stay longer than you don't need to. And with summer courses being offered now, it's a lot more viable option for you to finish within the 5 years, and some students finish actually within 4.5 years. So yes, it is offered. It is open to freshmen, and it is open to transfer students. If you are interested, you would just need to apply for the 4+1 specific program, and then after that, you would just meet with me one-on-one to make sure that we get all your courses correct, so you don't have to stay longer than you need to.
That's great. Thank you very much. And for the guaranteed internship program, does it have to be after you take the engineering seminar? Because I looked online on the requirements, so I can't apply to it now. I have to wait till I take the engineering seminar, correct?
Correct.
Right. Oh, and one last thing, that's for Cedar and Hiba, the people. Your presentation was great. I was kind of confused on which club you got, like which event or organization you guys are part of, because you brought up like so many of them, and all of them sounded great. But like for the chemical engineering community, which one is the biggest organization or a club?
Yeah. So like for the chemical engineers, the defined club, I guess you would say, was the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, and it's a national organization. So when you join the chemical engineering department, you're probably going to end up having to register as a member. It's completely free for students, so you can go ahead and do that like whenever you want to do that too. But that's the main organization, I would say, for chemical engineers, and it has a lot of great opportunities. You can attend their conference that they have, the national conference they have, their regional conferences. They also have a lot of like conferences that they hold, as well as lectures, as well as speakers, networking opportunities. So they're like a national organization, and we're the UIC chapter that kind of links you to them. And then we hold our own like little events for the chemistry department. But yeah, I would say that is the main focus one. There's a lot of other engineering organizations on campus. So if like you're interested in just like seeing what other majors or areas are about, or like if you're curious to see like, oh, I'm doing chemistry, but I want to kind of do robotics, or I want to do like bioengineering type stuff, they're all welcome. All engineering organizations are open to all majors. So you don't have to feel shy that I'm not in that major, I can't be a part of it. But yeah, a lot of organizations on campus, a lot of things to do. Don't have to stay within engineering as well. You can go and join like a dance group or a sorority or fraternity or whatever. So yeah, or a lot of nonprofits too on campus as well. So
yeah, as far as AICHE, by being a member, you automatically qualify to be kind of raffled into. So every year they do a national conference, and everybody travels there. AICHE covers the travel and the house and the lodging expenses if you are chosen to go. You present, but pretty much it's almost a week long event where you have AICHE chapters from all across the country come visit. 2 years ago, it was in Pittsburgh, or 3 years ago, it was in Pittsburgh. 2 years ago, it was in Orlando. So we were all there. It was a really great time. This year, unfortunately, as you know, it had to be canceled. But you're able to qualify for that, and it's an all expense paid trip to there, and you have a good time. You meet different people. As far as outside clubs and things like that, UIC does have an involvement fair every year. So it's an opportunity for you to go out and visit. They have sororities, fraternities, clubs, things like that, as well as other engineering clubs. So I believe one of our chemical engineers is actually in the mechanical engineer club, where they built a race car. Like they actually built like a F1 race car. So they needed a couple of chemical engineers. So I believe 2 of our students are in that one. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it might have been last year's graduating class. But you're free to kind of move around and see what fits you best. Any other questions or anything?
I just want to say real quick too, with the ChemiCar, I have to hype this up. Yeah, if you join ChemiCar, you do get to, if you qualify, you get to go to national conference too and participate amongst all other universities as well. So you get, just as the video showed, you get guidelines to what it needs to be done, and then you build a whole car within the chemistry department. And it's very cool. It's very exciting. You kind of have a little taste of what a chemical engineer gets to do. And last year, I think last semester, we placed 2nd at regionals, I believe.
Yes.
So that was very, very exciting. So I needed to throw that in.
Yes. Any other questions or anything?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I dumped mine all out.
Oh, no, of course. No worries. So yeah, that was information. What I did is I typed the link back to the main hub where you can get the financial aid information and the resource in case you want to break out to any other rooms. Again, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your consideration. Please make sure if you haven't submitted your ITE, submit your ITE before May 1st. And on our website, che.uic.edu. Right on the banner, if you want to get any more one-on-one information, one-on-one meeting with myself, there is a one-on-one sign up where we can have a one-on-one meeting, as well as future webinars that we're having, similar to this, but I'll be conducting them with a little bit more information. And it'll be, in case you have any other questions or concerns, or if your parents want to join and get more information, I'm free to kind of answer those questions. So don't hesitate to contact us or any one of us for any information. And again, thank you for joining us Saturday morning, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful day.